Yeah, so Joaquin, hi, good afternoon. Can you give us some information about what's going on in Cambodia and Morris?
Yes, well, to make a long story short, this
Just
today
enough. Yeah,
I received an email from Morris's account saying that he's present, that he's awake,
very
and
good.
so what I
Excellent.
did was I called the number I had for him, which is the hospital.
Yeah.
They put me on the phone with him.
Oh, so you had him on the phone.
I had him on the phone. I've spoken with him at
Oh,
length already. I'll give you some of the details about the conversation right now.
how does he
Basically,
sound? How does he sound?
he sounded like his brain is all there. Okay, he's in a wheelchair
Okay.
because he's weak. He sounded weak. He was definitely a little disoriented. He may not agree about that fact later, if he hears this, which I suspect now, thank God that he will.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
he sounded a little weak and a little disoriented. He had checked himself out of the hospital.
Really?
Yes, and
Oh,
I spoke to him from the parking lot of the hospital, first on the cordless phone of the hospital. Then at that time, a man standing next to him who asked me not to share his name, but who was a native English speaker, who also speaks some Khmer, got on the line, introduced himself to me, asked that he remain anonymous, said that he had found our Save Morris Facebook page,
you did
that
with
he,
Soviet Bear? Yeah,
that he was a person in a related field to journalism. That's all I can really say. I shouldn't, maybe not have said that, but that he just didn't have a lot of time there. He has to get to work tomorrow. It's 11 or 12 o'clock at night now, and
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's late. Yeah,
it's late. He has family, but he's helping right now. So we figured out basically what Morris was saying. The gentleman there told me what the doctors had said. He should not be checked out. He
yeah. Of
checked
course.
out on his own volition, but his treatment is not done. And they said, the doctors told the gentleman who told me, for what it's worth, that should he leave now, if there's a great chance that he will fall back
Okay.
into a coma
Yeah,
within a few
yeah, yeah.
days.
Of course.
Again, he does have meningitis, and they have him on an IV of antibiotics, and if he's in the parking lot now, he doesn't have it. So the update right now is I've spoken for over almost an hour on the phone with Morris. He wants to thank everyone for the tremendous outpouring, for the support. He thanked me.
Great.
He thanked me profusely for organizing this relief effort.
Excellent. Very good.
There are some discrepancies in details at the time that we won't get into, which relate to perhaps things dealing with the embassy in Thailand versus
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cambodia, the nature of his expenses. There may be some dispute that, and so forth, some legal things. And
Yeah, that doesn't matter too much.
it doesn't matter too much. We're going to
Yeah, yeah.
handle all that behind the scenes stuff. But what we're doing right now is desperately trying to get him checked back in,
Yeah, and finish his treatment.
finish his treatment.
Yeah.
He's reluctant for reasons we understand. He's probably right. He's usually
You know,
right, but
you
we
know,
need him back in the hospital.
yeah, there's something when you're like Morris in that frame of mind, and you absolutely don't trust the medical system, which I don't trust either. Like the scandals on the pharmaceuticals and the vaccination and
Right.
so on. So when you're in such a frame of mind, it's really difficult for someone to accept the 100 degrees opposite. That would be to, okay, now I'm in a wheelchair. I'm going to accept the chemical medication they're giving me. It's really hard. So I think maybe the most important for you, as long as you are in intimate, narrow relation with this third person now that's arrived, maybe you can get to know who this person is, just you and him, and then find a way to go via Morris so that Morris can pay by his own, I don't know, for all the expenses.
Don't worry about that.
Okay,
I mean, basically, like, he's conscious now, and as long as he can stay conscious, then, like, we can deal with everything. I'll be talking to the embassy again on Monday and just make
Lovely.
sure that, of course, the concern is that, I mean, look, let's back up a second. He's alive. He seems not to have any,
Great.
damage to his ability to walk and talk. He's in a wheelchair because he's weak, but he's not paralyzed. He hasn't had a stroke. He has gained
Excellent.
consciousness. He's, maybe halfway recovered. or so.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. Yeah.
And look, all the money stuff will be handled, and you know, because the money that's been raised is for his long-term care. It doesn't necessarily go, you know, to the hospital if they're
Of course.
gonna triple or quadruple bill him for nothing, because he's going to be out of it for a long time. He may need a in-home nurse or something.
Of course,
so,
of course,
so
of
all,
course.
You know, so that's all handled. But the legal stuff, the embassies were handling it. But you know,
But it shouldn't be too
right now is
complicated.
that he gets long-term care, and that he gets back to the hospital.
But it shouldn't be too complicated either for the embassy, because it's standard procedure, these things. When someone is expat, you know, and he goes to Cambodia and he falls sick, I mean, there's a protocol. The embassy has a way of doing things.
Yeah, they have a protocol, and you know, I'm his colleague, but not his blood relative, so I don't have any power of authority to authorize treatments. I wrote a polite letter with legal bearing, with legal weight behind it. And you know, advising them that this situation is being monitored, that we know.
Thank you very much.
Aware of his rights, that to not deny him any care for financial reasons, that you know, leave no stone unturned, and so on and so forth. So, you know, that may have partly to do with what we're seeing, but the point is that whatever we've done is working so far, because we've got him back, and we just don't want to lose him. So he just needs to basically complete his care in the hospital.
Excellent.
So and we will update later on that. But that's where we're at. I'm talking to him, and his phone is working, and tomorrow his girlfriend will visit him, bring him his stuff. So that's where we're at.
Okay, so excellent, man. I have no words, because it's been a lot of communication between everybody here.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Joaquin. Thank you very much, Sophie, there. Thanks, Syrian girl. Thanks for all the important people that are more exposed than us of having passed the message and having allowed
getting the message around. Everyone's been very helpful. So
great.
Okay, that's the update.
And
see you soon.
Hold on, just keep something in mind. Maybe beginning of April, I could go if he's okay, but things get stuck. I could eventually, without asking, you know, taking any donations whatsoever, just on my money, I could very well go from Japan to Cambodia just for 48 hours, just to meet him, take a few pictures, publish them, you know, and just be a good guy.
That may be necessary, so we'll keep everyone posted, and we'll figure that out as it comes. Great.
Hey,
thank you, Philip.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Joaquin Flores. Monsieur. Ciao.